No other team has more than 3. Golden State fell to 1-4 on the season against the Rockets and Thunder and have now lost back-to-back games for the first time this season. Max, are you concerned about the Warriors?
I am, but no more concerned today than I was yesterday or last week or a couple of weeks ago or since the Rockets went on, what was it, the 12-0 run when they had Harden and Chris Paul in the lineup and were smoking teams, were Harlem Globetrottering the NBA like the Warriors used to. When I saw that, I thought, that is a real threat. The Rockets, this Chris Paul, James Harden pairing and the rise of Clint Capella and how he matches up with Pachulia and the way they're all playing and the way D'Antoni's coaching and the way Chris Paul is taking charge of the defense, this is a real external threat to the Warriors. In other words, when we talk about the Cavs, we talk all about they're imploding. So now you look at Boston, you look at Toronto, you look at all these other teams, maybe even Washington if they could get it together, though I doubt it. In the West, it's not the same sort of thing. It's not about the Warriors clicking on all cylinders and then there's nothing to worry about. Even if they're clicking on all cylinders, there is something to worry about, and that is the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors in these Western Conference Finals are going to be the thriller in Manila, Stephen A. It's going to be Ali and Frazier, and they will slug it out.
Well, I don't disagree with you about how formidable Houston is. I've also added OKC to that list because I don't know if anybody has noticed, but Paul George has gotten better and better and better every single month. He dropped 38 last night. They had no answer for him. He was schooling brothers. It was something special that was taking place, and it actually worked to their advantage that Carmelo Anthony went down with just 6 minutes. He had missed his first 4 shots. Knowing him, he would have kept shooting, and we don't know how that would have affected Paul George's performance on that particular night. Houston is very formidable. The Thunder are coming because for some reason when Russell Westbrook goes up against these brothers, even though he is himself, he does have a profound effect on what the Golden State Warriors are capable of doing. Golden State, think about it this way. I expect Klay Thompson to play a little bit better, Kevin Durant to take more shots than just 14, certainly for Steph Curry to play better, and Draymond Green's got to watch himself with those technical fouls. We get all of that. But, Max, the Houston Rockets are not the biggest reason why the Warriors need to be concerned. The Warriors need to be concerned because they're not tough enough. David West comes in there and gives them an element of toughness that they don't have. There is no one else that does so. It was almost laughable last night when Steve Kerr decided, I need somebody to help stop Steven Adams. So let me put JaVale McGee out there. I mean, I almost started laughing. I mean, it was funny to me because the first thing Oklahoma City did was throw the ball to Steven Adams like 3 straight times, okay? Of course you're going to give him the ball. He only had 14 points, but he hit 7 or 9 shots. This is what he does. And so what I'm saying to you is that when you look at the level of toughness that an Oklahoma City has, when you look at how rough and rugged and how physical it can be, this seems to be an impediment to the Warriors' success. Yeah, they got mad skills. They can shoot better than anybody in the world. They have the second best player in the world, as far as I'm concerned, in Kevin Durant. All of this stuff is true. But when you get physical with them and the calls are not there in abundance like they like it to, suddenly there is a problem. Well, and that's what you got to watch out for because
they get physical with the refs.
It gets a little bit slower. Come playoff basketball is a little bit more physicality, Max, allowed in playoff basketball. And you're going to find yourself with the Warriors finding out how interesting it's going to be because a lot of it is going to be contingent on what the referees call and what they let go. And that is the concern that you need to watch out
Molly,
for.
Is there time to respond to that or no?
Yeah, go ahead. And I
ahead,
also want to hear, Max, if you can get into it, why they're having all these ejections. What's the deal?
Well, I think they're a little emotional right now, Draymond especially. And by the way, KD is an emotional player. You know, his reputation wasn't exactly who he was. He's shown people who he is. He's an emotional guy. So now you add one guy like that to a team that already has a Draymond Green, and, you know, you wind up getting teed up a lot. I would say this. The kind of perception that there's softness in the Warriors, really what that comes down to, other than like Steph is not considered the athlete or the tough guy that Westbrook is, or maybe CP3 is, at least in terms of that like toughness. And I don't know if I agree with that. I see Steph playing defense, trying his best on every possession and all that, and coming through in big moments right up until the finals. But okay, the real difference is, guys, in order to get KD, they had to get rid of Bogut. And what that meant was they don't have a rim protector like they used to. Now, no one in their right mind would ever say, no, keep Bogut, don't get KD. So we all agree that's a net gain for them, a huge one. One of the, you know, a nice defensive player versus one of the greatest players who ever lived, who's also an excellent defender. But there are trade-offs. You lose something. And a team that can post up has a certain matchup advantage with the Warriors. It doesn't mean they're better than the Warriors. It doesn't mean the Warriors aren't better now with KD instead of Bogut, but no team is perfect. And I wouldn't say it's an overall toughness if they don't get the calls issue. I would say there's not a guy like Andrew Bogut on the team issue. Sure, that is something that another team could exploit.
Well, I got to tell you this, Max. It's like, I get where you're coming from. I appreciate you breaking that down because, look, you bring up Andrew Bogut. David West is physical, but this is the problem. You've won 2 out of the last 3 championships. Cats are tired of getting smoked by you. And so as a result, listen, when you're on a basketball court, all right, and somebody is better than you, but you're bigger and stronger than them, what do? You try and beat them up. You try to demoralize them. You try to take them out of their game. This is why you got 34 technical fouls on the part of the Golden State Warriors, because cats are coming at them. The referees can't call everything. As a result, the calls that they miss, guys like Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and others get emotional, and as a result, you see what happens. And so because of, you got to also remember that Draymond Green is undersized. This is a guy that has overachieved throughout his career. He's not some 7'1" Goliath. Draymond Green's about 6'8". He's out there defending centers. He's down there battling and grinding all the time. So he's looking for help, for assistance from the officials. Sometimes he gets it. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes the Warriors are so sensational, you see referees out there playing a role of spectators, marveling at what they're witnessing and watching that instead of calling the calls that they should be calling from time to time. When that happens and you miss out on it because everybody's bringing their A game in terms of effort, trying to come at you to knock you off your pedestal, they get physical with them. Golden State doesn't like that. Kevin Durant is great. We see how skinny he is. Steph Curry is great. We see how small he is. Draymond Green is undersized. And so when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, damn, people going to look at you and say, yeah, you got skills, but how you going to feel when I put this forearm in your chest
Rudy
or in
Gobert
your neck
is not
or
on
I
that
slap
team.
you on? That's the problem. That's your problem, and they're going to have to learn how to deal with that.
They're less than perfect. I still say their threat is a Houston Rockets team who looks like the Warriors look. It's like the same sort of thing. They're destroying teams.
Yeah, we got to go, guys.
Hold on. The only thing I want to say is, Max, the only reason I disagree is because Houston plays their game. They don't play that physical game. So they don't have to worry about what I just broke down against Houston.
That's right. And the Warriors have more talent if you stack it off. I'm just saying that's the threat.
Cavs Warriors, no longer a foregone conclusion, and I love all of it. Still to come, gentlemen, Malcolm Butler defends himself after yesterday's negative rumors tied to his Super Bowl benching. And Josh McDaniels does an about-face and is headed back to the Patriots. The guys will debate why. Coming up next.
Max Kellerman. Did you know that our show can now be streamed on demand on the ESPN app? Now our fans can watch you lose to me whenever and wherever they want. We aren't just on TVs anymore. You better bring your A game.
I always bring my A game. It's you I'm worried about. Now when you